Ma'am, shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, you can start. Prashant,
Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone present here. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. On behalf of Triple E Department in association with Dr. MGR Alumni Association, she is happy to organize the spectacular event on MGR Alumni Conclave 2021. This topic is a cutting-edge approach in electrical engineering. I am Sweta from second year BMI, who will be the host in the section. I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Madam, Register, Joint Register, other executors, HOD, faculty members, alumni members, and my dear friends for this wonderful event. Now I call upon Dr. S. Bhuneshwari Madam, Head Department of Triple E, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes,
ma'am, you are.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. With great honor and pleasure, I welcome you all to this memorable and wonderful occasion of our department's alumni conclave on the topic, a cutting-edge approach in electrical engineering. I would like to thank our beloved President, Engineer ACS Arunkumar sir, and our Vice Chancellor Madam, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, for providing us a platform on conducting the event, and our alumni office for enabling us to conduct the event and be a part of an official attempt of World Book of Records for 25 days, 25 departments, 25 alumni conclaves, and 25K participants. This day is very important as it provides an opportunity for the current students to have an insight on the cutting edge approach in electrical engineering. It also provides a chance for every graduate from the previous years to meet their teachers and other staff members to cherish their memories. Our alumni has brought us a glory to our department as well as institution. So they have set an example for being a successful and good human being. And I thank the alumni for taking out time of your busy schedule to be a part of this event. I would like to appreciate all the effort that is done by you all for the development of the society. And thank you for justifying the years spent by you at this institution. With this, I welcome everyone to this wonderful show. Welcome everyone. Welcome all.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to invite Mrs. T. Kirba Devi, ma'am, Deputy Dean Association, to talk about the MGR Alumni Association. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. Right. Good morning to the Dean, HOD, and the alumni panelists of Department of Triple E. Today is day 8 of MGR Alumni Conclave 2021, which is a massive world record attempt in connecting 25,000 participants with alumni speakers through conclaves for 25 days as a part of our Founder Chancellor birthday celebration. So myself, Deputy Dean Alumni Association, like to summarize the outcome of Dr. MGR Alumni Association. So our MGR Alumni Association, which is called as MA, has been registered under the Society Act with register number SRG Chennai South 345/2021. Our alumni works with the motto of stay connected to share and care. We have around 5 international alumni networks and 7 national networks. 2 alumni portals are currently existing with 25,000 alumni students associated. Around 160 abroad students and 200 national students have been benefited through alumni service in collaboration with the COE office and registrar office. MGR Alumni Association provides various online services for the students or alumni who could not visit the university when there is a need. Still, you can approach us for various online services like providing a transcript for higher studies, issuing mark sheet if you have missed it, providing bona fide certificate for medium of instruction, or issuing LOR from the department. So also MA has organized so far 3 Silver Jubilee reunions and 4 decennial reunions. MA has also executed 75 university level alumni events and 400 department level alumni events. Our institution also has scholarships to new admission referred by our alumni for the various active PG, UG courses. For more info about the online services, or to alumni@drmgrdu.ac.in, or contact MA office in the main campus. With this, I wish the team of EEE to complete this conclave successfully. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to invite Mrs. S.T. Rama, Assistant Professor, Alumni Coordinator, speak about the MGR Alumni Conclave 2021. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, everyone. The Dr. MGR Alumni Association has taken an initiative of its first kind in organizing a mega event for our students as MGR Alumni Conclave, 25 departments, 25 alumni conclaves, 25K participants to create and enter into the World Book of Records. The motto of this conclave is to maintain our pride.
Rama ma'am, muted.
Rama ma'am, you are muted, ma'am.
Conclave has a theme, a cutting-edge approach in electrical engineering specific to our department where engineering intervention is desired. The conclave focuses from point of view of finding engineering solutions and specific recommendations formulated for action in industries. The conclave provides a forum to discuss on the topic a cutting-edge approach in electrical engineering issues with respect to development in engineering, science, and technology. This conclave can have a tangible delivery in suggesting possible engineering ideas to the future engineers. The idea for this conclave is to enrich our future electrical engineers on the latest technology in electrical engineering field using optimal technologies platforms for e-conclave and YouTube. And this is the driving force for this event. The conclave focuses on driving people from darkness to light. During this unprecedented time of the pandemic the world is facing, where we believe there is no better way to utilize this time. So the speakers are selected are the best in their respective fields, and to get first-hand knowledge from them would be truly an honor. All students and alumni and faculty members participate can go beyond the physical boundaries with the modern day technology to learn from our speakers. So I, on behalf of EEE department, welcome you all in the discussion forum. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Neha from second year BME to introduce the moderator of the conclave, Ms. Supraja, ma'am.
It is a great honor for me to introduce and welcome Ms. KS Supraja, alumni of batch 2015 and 2019, at this startlingly beautiful morning. Her qualification includes BTech from Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute and MTech Nanotechnology from Alagappa College of Technology, Anna University. She has received a lot of awards, such as a Best Organizer Award in 2018 and 2019 and Best Volunteer Award in 2019. She has participated in various inter and intra-college events, both technical and non-technical. She has been appreciated for being a best organizer and volunteer in various departments, each for the consecutive years from 2016 to 2019 at Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. She has attended international training program at Yuanzi University, Taiwan, and received a 50% scholarship for higher studies at Yuanzi. Various social awareness programs such as water and energy conservation among public. Her strength is sincerely working and organizing events and good volunteering. Strength and growth comes only through a continuous effort and struggle.
Thank you, Sneha. I would like to invite Ms. Supraja to start with the discussion. Please.
Thank you. Good morning to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to thank the Triple department to allowing me to be part of this conclave meeting. And I would like to invite personally the speakers of today's conclave meeting, Mr. Soham Ghosh, who is alumni from the batch 2008 to 2012, who is the engineering manager in the Black and Wedge Kansas, and Mr. Vipul Kumar from the batch 2010 to 14, area manager Tamil Nadu, professional luminaries division Orient Electric Limited, Chennai, and Mr. Avanish Kumar from the batch 2011 to 2015, who is the senior manager Uttam Scrotech International Private Limited, Delhi, and Mr. Surat Singh from the batch 2013 to 17, software development engineer from the Bank of America, Mumbai. And the agenda of conducting the alumni conclave event is that we would have 4 speakers, and there are 6 rounds in total, whereas the first round would be the self-introduction, and followed by the second round with all the panelists who provide an overview specific on the description of the conclave topic. And the third round is about the best practices about the conclave topic in their working environment. And fourth and fifth will be the question session from the moderator as well as from the panelists and the attendees. And whereas the sixth one will be the final. And I would personally invite Mr. Soham Ghosh to introduce himself.
Sure. Thank you, Supraja, for the introduction. Just making sure I'm audible.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and greetings. And before I start, I'd just like to take a second to say happy birthday and thank you to our founder chancellor for organizing this mega event, and also to our pro vice chancellor, our register, our head of the department, staff of the EEE department, and members of the alumni, and of course the batch of electrical and electronics engineering. It is really a privilege to speak in this mega event session and share my thoughts about some of these things that I struggle with and I experienced and I enjoyed when I really did my bachelor's in Chennai. So I probably think you probably heard my name is Soham Ghosh. I'm a graduate from the 2008 to 2012 batch. I'm currently an engineering manager at Black & Veatch here in Kansas, United States. I have a little over 8 years of experience at this time. I'm a licensed professional engineer here in Texas and Missouri. And what I really do is I execute large substation projects for various utility clients. And I support other emerging technology within my company, like protection against wildfires and making different kind of transmission and protection coordination studies. I have an undergraduate degree, of course, from Dr. MGR Education Research Institute. And I also have I have 2 masters, one from Arizona State University in electrical engineering, and one from University of Kansas in project management. I'm also a member of IEEE, Power and Energy Society, where I actively contribute. And I'm a member of, and I'm associate member of the Institute of Engineers India. I think that should be it for my self-introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. And we would have followed by Soham Ghosh. We have Vipul Kumar Gupta to introduce himself.
Good morning, Supraja and everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much for having me in a conclave, and starting with thanking what we are right now. So, of course, I'll start with thanking with the agenda and best of luck, because we will be also part of the World Record book. So, thank you, chancellors, uh, Geeta ma'am, and Emma, association, Triple E Association and Alumni Association, moderators, speakers, panelists, and a department fellows. Good morning, everyone. This is Vipul. From 2010 to 2014, Triple E batch from MGR, Dr. MGR University. So it will be always good to share the experience and to be having a tag with Dr. MGR University alumni. Currently, I am working in Orient Electric as a manager profile for looking after sales and branding in the Tamil Nadu, and I'm having a background and working experience in majorly is lighting experience, lighting industry, which is concludes around 7 years of total experience. Apart from that, I have associated with Institution of Engineers India for as associate member and chartered engineer. Then I have completed project certification from Loyola, and presently, as I mentioned, it is in Orient Electric, and hope this is fine for myself.
Thank you. Now let's have Avinish Kumar, Senior Manager, to introduce himself.
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is the great pleasure for me to a part of this event, and I welcome all the department member and HOD ma'am, everyone on this platform. So I'm not look like too active today because just now I devoured with the train and I joined the meeting. So it is really a great pleasure to be a part of this event, and I am Oniskumar. As I'm working in a EPC division. EPC division, we are delivering the projects to the various client in sugar, ethanol, and power plant. I'm working with Uttam Sukrutech International Private Limited as a senior electrical engineer. So this is about me, and in the main discussion we will know more about my industries and each and everything, but this is really a great platform to just transform our knowledge, what we are doing, and we are giving something, we are taking something from you. So really a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Surat Singh to introduce himself.
Right. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. This is Surat Singh here, and I am uh, very happy to be a part of this conclave. And I would like to thank all the founders, chancellors, registrars, deans, and of course, my department teachers for letting me give this opportunity to speak here and join the conclave. It's very good to getting in connect with all the our seniors and get some time together to discuss on a topic. So it's kind of nostalgic for me. So yeah, I will introduce myself. So yeah, so my name is Surat Singh, and I have been working from the past 3 years in software development sectors, right? So currently I'm the software development engineer in Bank of America, and previously I worked with Cognizant doing the same job, right? So the main job I have been doing is software development on various fields, on various various business requirements. So that is the current thing I have been doing, and I'm from the batch 2013 to 2017, and yeah, it was a great 4 years for me to live there and learn there. So again, I like to express my gratitude to letting me join here, and I have done my BTech there, and I'm currently pursuing to do MTech of also if time permits. So yeah, currently this is all about me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was great. It was very great to know each of you. And can I know the journey from BTech till now? How was your journey being a successful person in the starting from Soham, Ghosh?
Okay, I can begin. Thank you again, Supraja. Now, I always get the question like, out of my university in Chennai and in Arizona and in Kansas, which one I did like the best? And it's kind of an annoying question, but my answer always has been that my university in Chennai has been my alma mater and will always be my alma mater. And the reason is that uh, out of all the educational institute I've seen and visited, I think our institute in Chennai, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, is something unique, because I think our strength really is in giving people really a chance. I think everybody should be given a chance, and our strength really is in who we include and not in who we exclude. And if I just stop and think about myself, the university gave me a chance 10 years back, and I kind of took the best out of it, and I probably think I'm doing relatively well. So that's all that really matters for me. So with that, I would like to start the topic of like a cutting edge approach towards electrical engineering. When I first saw the topic, it took me a while to kind of really think about it, to what should I be talking about with my audience, and especially the current batches of Triple E. And what I realized pretty quick was my struggles were 10 years back are probably not very different from what struggles and what thoughts that you guys are probably encountering right now. So I think the best way to approach this would be just to speak about my experience here. And I'll probably highlight a couple of things, but I'll probably like to start with like, what's the secret ingredients towards success? I mean, I can only talk about what I have seen in my experience, and success is pretty relative, because my picture of success is 5 years ahead of like a model of myself 5 years from now. So it's always a continuous development process for me. But I think the biggest thing we need to remember is every day we need to improve ourselves, and it should be like a stepwise process. You should improve and sustain, and improve and sustain yourself. What you probably should not do is get into the habit of doing something good, do it for a couple of days, and then just forget that. And then you drop back to square one. I've seen a lot of us get into the habit of doing something good, but then we give up too easily. The idea here is that don't give up too easily on anything good that you are doing. And that takes time, that takes persistence. But once you get into the habit of pushing yourself and pushing yourself on a continuous basis, you can be successful. And one thing I like to say to all of you is you probably don't need to be the smartest in your batch or in your class. What I have found is as long as you are willing to put that hard work and you are smart, you can outsmart the smartest guy. So with that, I'll move on to the next thing I had in mind, which I think most of us, when we are doing our engineering, kind of think about is, does grade really matter? And I think yes, because you are doing your undergraduate once. You can probably do 1 or 2 masters and then a PhD, but you are doing your undergraduate once. And this is your fundamental degree that will be evaluated everywhere in your job, in your higher studies. So try to have consistent and good grades, because once it gets into your transcript, you cannot erase a B and put that as an A. It stays with you through the rest of your life till you retire. So make sure that you have good grades. I can't stress that enough. And that brings me to my third point. And I get this question a lot when I talk to people and try to really brainstorm what career options they have. And that is that, should I do an MBA after I graduate? After I graduate from our university, should I do an MBA right off the bat? Should I take CAT coaching and do an MBA? And everyone has their own perspective, and this is just my perspective, that really what you probably should do is stop and think that MBA is a mid-career decision. Don't get tempted to go into an MBA program just out of college, because one, you will have insufficient experience managing real world projects or real world operations. So you will probably not be able to take the full advantage of an MBA program. And I will tell you some ways that you can probably use to get your MBA or project management degree for free. As such, like the second master's I did from University of Kansas, I basically asked my company to sponsor it for me. And most of the companies that you work after certain time you worked in a company, they would be willing to sponsor your higher education if they see some return on investment on you. So that's something that you can trade off and not just go and jump into an MBA program right away. Which brings me to my fourth thing. Where should we really start? And I'd probably say that start with the basics. Don't get yourself behind in classes. And that's, I think one thing that I should emphasize is, if you do every week's work in that week, you can stay in pace and you will remember things. And that kind of results in good grades, which is obvious. But you also have to put in some efforts to do that. But the bottom line is, you will probably remember things and then you will forget, which is fine. You will probably not remember much that you will study when you do a job. But the idea here is that when you are into a working a professional career, what you can do is you will know where to go and find the information that you are looking for. That is important. So kind of train yourself to not have everything memorized 3 years from now, but try to train yourself that you know what the information you need, you can dissect it into small individual components, and you can go and find the information. That's how your approach should be. And the second thing I like to say, and where to start, would be that electrical engineering is really an interdisciplinary discipline right now, because if you just solely think of focusing on, I would say, digital electronics or power electronics or power system, that's probably not going to work when you actually join into a professional career. And the reason I say that is, you probably would need some programming skills, or you probably have to do power electronics, design power electronic components, but also know power systems. So everything is is a little bit interdisciplinary. So I would say if you want to improve your skills, try to get under your belt one programming language. And if you have to choose one, I would say get yourself very comfortable with Python. If you learn Python, you can probably do 80% of the tasks, earning only one program. And the best place to start learning Python would be online. And there are a couple of websites, but I'll probably recommend, and this is what I did for myself, I'd probably recommend udemy.com, udemy.com. And for getting the fundamentals, like whatever our professors do teach, to reinforce those, say, for example, there is a digital electronics class and you want to get a deeper understanding on digital electronics, NPTEL videos in YouTube is always a great resource. And of course, there are other sites like Coursera and edX, where you can pay a very small amount and get to know a lot. One opportunity I probably didn't have, or we didn't have when at least I was graduating back in 2010 was these great sites that were available online where you can just go and select a course and then basically do it at your own pace and really get some fluency in a language, in a programming language. It's very important. And then I'd also say that we hear a lot of buzzwords like machine learning and blockchains and artificial intelligence and so on and so forth, like Internet of Things. And don't get overwhelmed by those buzzwords. What I will say is start with the basics. Probably go to udemy.com or I'd probably discourage you from not going to YouTube and trying to learn Internet of Things, because you will probably see a lot of 5-minute videos and you'll be confused. So a better way to get familiar with these new buzzwords that are coming out would be to go to a site like Udemy and take a course, like take a 9-10 hour course and basically understand the fundamentals. If you understand the fundamentals, you will understand the big pictures. And I'd probably like to show a couple of things that when I did my undergrad, I spent every month when I was in my 3rd and 4th year, I probably spent on every month like 200 rupees or 300 rupees. I went to Ricci Street and bought a lot of power electronic components and just played around with it. And I think I had a subscription with a magazine called Electronics for You, where I saw the electronics circuits, and basically what I did was I made those circuits myself. And I still have that habit of doing like playing around with circuits. And I have a couple of things I want to show. Like I have a small Raspberry Pi here, and this is a microprocessor, like a small microprocessor. And the question is like, what can this do that our laptop cannot do? You see these pins here? It has a lot of pins, and you can connect sensors and you can connect displays, and you can do a whole lot of things. You can probably connect a webcam and take a time-lapse video of something just by writing a few lines of Python code. It's pretty simple. I have a Arduino board right here that I sometimes use to program, and this is a microcontroller board. I program stepper motors or I program sensors, and I just do it out of fun. And then I have relay modules, like this is what I purchased. And then I have other humidity and temperature sensors. You can do a lot of projects, and trust me, if you go to Amazon.com or go to Ricci Street in Chennai, you can get a lot of these electronic components that you can play with. And really, I would say that in addition to these, what else can we do to get ourselves an upper edge? And I think that we should all, while we are doing still our engineering in our 3rd year or 4th year, we should start writing technical papers. If we get into the habit of writing technical papers while we are still in our school or in our university, by the way, university in the United States is called a school, which is kind of ironic, but My apologies there. But if you get into the habit of writing technical papers and getting them published, you can always go back 10 years from now and see your technical papers and kind of see the way you have improved. So if you have probably written a one technical paper, try to write your second one. If you have written your second, try to write your third one. And then very soon you will realize that people are asking you to review other people's work or write newsletters or give or pretty much like review a bunch of conference papers, and you can always contribute to the discipline in that way. And basically you have to snowball things. If you start with one, you will always get to point two, but the important thing is to start with point one. And I probably iterated on one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is probably don't get into the plan of once you graduate, if you want to get or ace the GATE exam or the CAT exam, I think many people what I have seen they do is they pretty much after they graduate, they drop 1 year or 2 years and they go to some city like Delhi or probably stay in Chennai and then study for the CAT or the GATE without going into the professional career itself. And I would say don't do that. And there is a couple of reasons for me discouraging you from not going, like not wasting 1 or 2 years of your time. One, because the CAT exam or the GATE exam is not valued 1 or 2 years of your life. Now stop and think, 1 or 2 years of your life is a long time. And the second thing is it kind of creates a gap in your resume. If you have a gap of 2 years after you have graduated where you have probably not done any job, people will ask you when you kind of go into a job interview, what have you really done in those 2 years? And it becomes very hard to justify that you probably were preparing for CAT. So try not to do that. And that was probably the overview that I wanted to share. In the next round, I'll probably share the best practices, some other best practices I have in mind. So with that, thank you, Supraja, for the time you gave me.
Thank you, Mr. Soham. It was too inspiring to all those who were in a dilemma about what to do in their career and what to do next. And we would have Vipul Kumar to share his thoughts on the same.
Thank you, Supraja. Of course, when we say what we are gaining from the college or the degree, of course, as Mr. Soham has mentioned so many points, I will mention few further points, which is that always everyone thinks that college degree matters. Yes, it is matters because that is a criteria for everywhere where either you are going for a job or higher education or for any competition. You have to be qualified for a minimum qualification, that is the degree. Of course, we have to get it done in good numbers. Apart from that, of course, I'm coming from as average student, and I don't expect that I'll be having a 9 CGPA. It's like in falling in 8. But of course, we have to be in that level that to be compete with others, and it should not be lagging in somewhere else. So have a profile, study well in the condition of like going through the basics, because every opportunity or everything, it depends upon the basics. If we miss the basics, it's not going to be we will be not going to advance in a very correct way or the incorrect line, which we want to meet the wavelength of future requirement in the terms of education or the market requirement or the industry requirement. The basic, why I'm mentioning that, it is when I have started, I have also seen that in a couple of my batchmates, so many batchmates was there that who's running behind the number. Of course, we have to run, but we should not miss we should not miss our profile to make in 360 degrees. It means that we have to study well, go with the proper guidance. We are one of the fortunate we have studied and we have got the better practices that industry at the time which adapt. Like as mentioned, Mr. Soham has mentioned in the with 2010, couple of websites has been started for the online education. Similarly, when we are in 2014, similarly, some of the advanced websites and the applications has come for the further studies, which gave us a reference how industry is moving. Because tomorrow, once we are going to come out from the college, we have to be a part of industry. And of course, as mentioned by Mr. Soham, to do not engage yourself on the wasting the time for 1 year or 2 years. Some of the person is in 3 years, unless until if you are not having a very passionate about is like how many people I have in my batch, including me, who was a part of like in third year, we have started in third year and for second year for the uh, some of the elite group of organizations to join and to be a part of like service commission doing either in engineering services or preparing the gate. Of course, if you are willing to take, if you have that much of ambition to do something, go with your current schedule. Like when we are having in third year, go and prepare along with our papers to write the exam, because when we are in the current time in the college, we will be having a better knowledge, better depth of understanding, proper guidance from the college, which makes us to be a to success what we want. So this is I'll be concluding in the very thought. So this is from my side. Thank you for giving me time.
Thank you, Mr. Vipul. And we have Avanish Kumar to share his thought on the same.
Thank you, Supraja, for giving me time to just say something about the cutting edge technology referred to the current and fully developed technology. So, cutting edge means what? We are going in a constant manner to just a lower step to further step. So, before starting more about the cutting edge in electrical engineering, I many more point is mentioned by Soham, Ghosh and Bipul Kumar. So I think that is the much enough for all of you, all of us. But two, three things I want to add. See, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter how much you are getting in your examinations, university examinations, but you need to very clear about your basics. You no need to go very deep in control system, no need to go very deep in digital electronics or DSP. My request, you just read one book. I'm going to suggest Basic of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. If you are known about all the topic covered in that book, then definitely I'm going to sign on the bond paper. You are going to crack any interview. So this is my experience. And see, one more thing you need to develop. Study is a part of life. We need to educate ourselves to educate our future generations. This is the most important. But one thing is most important. What is that? You need to develop a discipline among you. If you are uh, if you are a good in good in scoring marks and you don't have discipline, so everywhere you are going to fail. Everywhere, in the organizations, in your personal life, everywhere you are going to fail with a certain time. So you just listen your professors, listen your HODs, because when I was there, I'm not a very good student, I'm a average student having a backlog also with me. So you need to listen your professor. Why? Your professor having a lot of ideas because they are seeing a more night, more days of engineering. If you are nowadays we are at that platform and your professor is completed, you are the professor is just gone through that platform a 10 years 12 years back, so they having a good experience. And experience matter. You have a lot of knowledge. Whenever I started my corporate in operation and maintenance, I just go to the electricians and fitters to learn about the practical aspects, and that will be the more much benefited for me. Because you are an engineer, you having a good theory with you, not and not that also not a matter. You having a lot of basics and lot of thing in transformer, that transformer having such part. And so if I told you to just go and identify transformer in the field itself, I think you are not able to identify that is the transformer if you have not visualized the things. Am I right, Swanvia? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
so
I know
this is
exactly what you mean.
this is my practical experience which I'm sharing with you. So whenever we are pass out from the college, our mind is too high. We are just thinking that we are going to be a manager, we are going to be a manager at once. So we are not just compromise with the small uh, post like uh, so company is offering GET and ask you to perform a 3 or 4 kinds of job. So you are telling that, oh, what we are doing, we are engineer, we are not going to perform that work, we that is not our work. So no, never. What kind of assignment you are getting from your seniors, you need to complete first. Even it's a clerical job, even it's an engineer's job, you need to just stick on that, because documentation is the most important part of the engineering. Even now in my 6 year experience, now itself I'm going to know how to fold the drawings. So I learned from my color how to fold the drawing. So your ambition is high, that's good, but you have to be on ground. Be on ground always, only that you can going to succeed. See, whenever I am in erection and commissioning with isaac heavy engineering uh, isaac heavy engineering, so at a time came the pressure inbuilt in a EPC division to complete the project at time. On that time, what I'm doing, I'm just pulling the cable with the contractor. So why I need to tell such thing? You have to be on ground and think above, because every step is start from the basic one, not from the higher one. So need to start from the basic. It's always matter, and try to climb stair by stair, and you will definitely get a good positions after some time. Why I'm telling about the discipline in our university when I was there? So most of the brilliant student is there in my batch also. But if you are listening your professor, and our I'm very lucky that our department is enhanced with a good technology and good professor. We are not lagging about our professors and all. We have a great knowledgeable professor with us, and they are showing us path. We need to just follow the path, but we are just skipping from the path. Why? The path is little bit difficult. But I challenge you here in this platform, if you are going to listen them, definitely after starting on the path you are find too easy. So already Soham Bhaiya and Vipul Bhaiya is added a lot thing, what to do, what not to do, Don't waste your time to be a manager in the first step. Be an engineer, be a GET, start as a GET, start as an engineer, start as a uh, but we can start with the basic one. Don't be a manager or GM in the first step, because if you are thinking about I'm going to be a GM in a single approach, then never possible. And if you are GM in the first step, manager in the first step, then it is my challenge, you are never going to succeed in your professional life. So start with the basic. I request you to start and learn the practical aspects of each and everything. No matter where you are learning, from whom you are learning, but start with a very cool manner, not like a egoistic manner. Hey, I am engineer, you need to tell this thing. No, again you are not going to learn. If the principle is different, they are telling you the different principle, and the technology is going to blast whenever you are implementing in your practical experience. So be cool, be lenient. Just so you are aggressive, you are too eager to learn this thing, then somebody is going to transform his education on you. Nobody is like, even you also, I also, everyone like some respect. So if you are a beginner, give respect and try to learn each and everything. If we are talking about the electrical engineering, cutting edge technology, it's a very vast topic. My father itself recommend to do mechanical engineering, because from village area itself, people are telling that he they only know about mechanical and CS, like that. They are just familiar about mechanical is the most familiar branch in our area. So why I just select the electrical? See, now itself, and your generation also, what we are using and what we are going to use is based on electrical only. So the technology enhance day by day, but we are the prime mover. Always keep in the mind, we are the prime mover, and prime mover having a good support, so you can succeed. Likewise, I'm telling you that you having a basic knowledge, you having a good knowledge, so you can transform your knowledge in a different. See, if you are learn the experience, if you are learn the experience from the electricians of a star delta starter, of a working principle of a transformer, of a working principle of a relays, so you can transform your knowledge on that relay in an advanced manner. You can transform your knowledge on a transformer in a advanced manner. So trying to learn basics, try to learn the practical specs with a disciplinary manner, and where you are, just perform your discipline, because discipline is a part of life, and never compromise with the discipline in your educational life, in your professional life, and where you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avanish. And it was a wise advice. And I'm damn sure that our staffs have been always been a part in everyone's success of each and every students of Triple department. And let's have Surat Singh to share his opinion on the same.
Hello again. So there's nothing much to say. All my three seniors have done an excellent job explaining how you should be and how you should not be. I will be adding some couple of points that I think from my perspective. So in my BTech years, in that 4 years, I've learned few things that I would like to, share with the juniors listening to me. The first thing is that don't focus on the theory much. Do the practical. As much as you can, do the practical. because the practical will only help you in the future. That will give you the clearance of how you the things are working, right? Yeah, theory is correct to begin with the initial, but practical is a must. Try to do all your laboratory, all the lab experiments, you have to learn about every single practicals and lab projects that will help you in the future. And uh, in my time, I used to focus on lab things, laboratory much more rather than the theory, because that helped me a lot in my fourth year. uh, that is that. And always try to learn, always have the appetite to learn more. It doesn't matter if it's from this branch or from other branch. If there is a new thing and that is helping the society doing better jobs, you have to learn that, because that not only for your knowledge, but you can contribute to the society after getting the knowledge. So that is the part of it. And yeah, about the project, I think all the fourth year students listening to me must be doing their projects, right? Try to do the project by yourselves. That is a mandate. Try to work on it, try to grill your mind on it. I have the experience that when I was working on my project, I just got the idea, did everything by myself and my team, and it was a experience that I still remember, because it has been around 4 years. I graduated from the college, and still I am remembering the days when I was working on the project, thinking how it will, how implementing it, what controllers, what microcontrollers can we use to do this work. Now that really helps, right? That first of all, that motivates you from inside. You When you get motivated from the inside, you will get ideas, you will automatically want to learn something. So that is a mandatory thing for every single person, not from the triple E, but every single person. And of course, all the professors in the triple E department, in my time, Sujata ma'am, Bhuvaneshwari ma'am, Rama ma'am, these were the professors. I'm very grateful to them. Uh, they Their teaching skills are good. You are lucky they are your professors. And that's all. I had a very, very good experience in my college, and it overall developed my personality to a lot. I was a shy person, not able to talk in front of 10 or 5 peoples also. Now actually I am a speaker here, and around how many 132 persons are participating this conclave. So yeah, it's a great achievement for me. Thanks again, Dr. MGR University and Electrical Engineering Department gave me the base, the base on which I am standing right now. So again, grateful to them, and all the valuable lessons that you learned from all the 3 seniors, including me. Please keep it in mind. Stay on the practical side more. Try to do as much practical as you want. Try to learn new technologies, like Mr. Soham told, like Python is one of the trending technologies in machine learning and artificial intelligence also, because it is a scripting language, and scripting language always helps. Other than that, you can also learn electrical CAD, PLC, SCADA. You can do a certification on these two, because as a part of electrical engineers, these kind of technologies and software knowledge is must. It will help you in your building your resume, and it will also help you in generating your practical skills. So that's all from me. Thank you, Supraja.
Thank you. And with this, we are end of the second round. And it was so inspiring by each of the speakers who have given us a wise advice to shine in and out. And they, as they told, please do the online courses and concentrate on the labs and practicals. And of course, listen to the professors and their wise advices. Moving on to the third round, whereas to talk about the concave topic that is in about the concave topic in their respective working systems environment. So let's have Soham Ghosh to just share his opinion on the
Thank you again, Supraja. And I think all the experience I'm going to probably share would be of some value to the current batch of Triple E. So pay attention here. Okay, so the story is that on the like as I was done as I was getting done with my fourth year at college, the campus placement started, and I got a placement on the first day, along with my two other roommates in HCL Technologies. But the problem I quickly realized, and I was very happy. But the problem I realized was that I kind of heard rumors that HCL will probably delay sending us the offer letter. And I waited 2 months and nothing kind of showed up. So I kind of made a decision of possibly joining a small electrical company, which does moderately good projects based out of Chennai. And I joined the company and I just worked for the company. And as I was learning, I was learning, and it was not a whole lot of workload. I was probably not anticipating working 12 hours a day. So I had plenty of time for myself. What I did at that time was I realized that I have to probably do something to move ahead in my career. And that's where I really thought about giving the GRE, the TOEFL exam, and thought about applying to universities in the United States, and started really doing the process. And I got into Arizona State University. It has a very renowned power system program, and I was fortunate to get there. The point I'm trying to make here is that things might not go as you always plan. Like when I got the offer on day one in HCL Technologies, I was very happy, and I had a plan that I will probably go into something. But I was not prepared to wait 1 year to get my offer of joining. That would have created like a void in my career for a year. So don't have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. Even in like as you will move up in your career and you will be having more responsibilities, you should have a backup plan. If something goes wrong, what is the backup plan? That's my first advice. My second advice is, I think Nishant pointed this out very nicely, is you have to be disciplined. You have to understand the importance of discipline, I mean to say. And the very basic example I like to share is start by making your bed every day to perfection. And the reason is that if you can get that small thing of getting your bed done to perfection every day, you get the first thing done right. And if you get into the habit of making your bed every morning, you also get into the habit of having a clean desk at your work. And what that translates into is, as you go higher up in your career and you have a messy desk and you have 5 people working under you, they will not like to come into your office. Like, just stop and think that if you have a messy desk with things all over and papers and stuff on the floor, nobody will like to enter your office. And people will probably not respect you as much as if you have a clean desk. So the thing here is, if you want to make a clean desk in your office, start by making your bed. And for that, discipline is required. Every day, I meticulously make my bed till today, and I'll probably do it for the rest of my life. That brings me to my next topic, or next tip I want to really share is dress for the occasion. And by that, what I mean is, if you are going to a party, don't wear a formal and go to a party. And on the other hand, if you are going to your school, your university, attending classes, don't wear casuals, and try to really get into the habit of wearing a formal and be confident in the way you dress up. if you get the confidence in the way you dress up, you can go a long way. So try dressing for the occasion. As you probably enter into a professional career, you are most likely not expected to come in a three-piece suit unless you are a top executive. But you are probably expected to come in a formals, which will probably be a shirt and a pant, or a skirt and a shirt. And you, by dressing for the occasion and being disciplined, what you can do is iron your shirt every day. If you have an iron shirt and you dress for the occasion, it will help you in your career, because people will realize that you have your things under control, compared to somebody who knows a lot, but every day he comes and looks really tired, and his dress is all crampy. If you look into like the lifestyle of two-person, it reflects a lot. So my suggestion is dress for the occasion and get into the habit of ironing your shirt. My other tip is develop your listening skills. And this is something I learned a couple of years back, but we all tend to probably believe that listening is an automatic skill. You probably don't need to improve your skill, but trust me, you do. And there are 5 forms of listening. If you probably YouTube it up, there are 5 forms of listening. And the highest level of listening is called empathetic listening, where you're listening to others not to respond, but really understand the other person's perspective. So be a patient listener and try to listen with attention. And it's very difficult to develop that skill. But if you develop that skill, you will see that you kind of hear more things and understand more things than you probably used to hear and understand a couple of months back. And I'd like to share a couple of other tips. And the biggest one is managing your finance. And this is something that probably you don't learn formally in school or in university, but this is the biggest thing that you probably would, I'd say this is the managing your finance is the biggest project you will ever manage in your life. It might be $1 million project that you might be managing in your life. So manage your finance well. And where do you start with managing your finance? I'd say that start by having a written plan. You probably don't think about finance while you are still in the university, but once you graduate and find a job, and trust me, all of you will find a job. So think about your finance from now. How will you manage your finance? And the easiest way to do it is to get your spendings all written down in a piece of paper and see how much you get in each of your paycheck. And before you spend, you really should save. Most people do it the other way around. So just stop and think and have your savings done first before you spend. And the other point I'd like to highlight on finances, try to avoid getting a loan. And if you have a loan, try to pay it early and aggressively as much as you can, so that you can really build and invest your financial wellness. The next thing is hobbies. It's important for us to have hobbies. And my hobbies are fine arts. The painting you see behind me, that's an oil painting I made. I make paintings in all sorts of medium, from charcoal to oil to water to scratch boards to painting in glass. And another hobby that I have is I travel a lot, and that's probably a little suppressed with COVID, but I do extensive traveling. And you have your hobbies, or you probably had your hobbies at one point of time in your life. I would say that invest some time in those hobbies. See how you can encourage yourself into doing things that you probably did 3 years back, but that has been getting ignored for a long time now. So don't ignore your hobbies. Hobbies are important. That's one area where people really finds yourself, like where you can probably really shine when there are five other people competing with you and have the same kind of experience and the education out there. The other tip, and this one probably should have been in the top of my list, is be grateful to our professors. Our professors, I think they really do a fantastic job in imparting the education that we need. And the reason I say that is, of course, when I was in my university, I was always grateful to them, but I made lifelong mentors. My professors are my lifelong mentors out there. We, I do connect periodically with Bhuvaneshwari ma'am and Benavanti ma'am, who used to be in the department. And we do talk about the discipline. We do talk about other things in general. So our professors really put in a lot of effort, and the way I learned it was when I did my applied for my professional engineering license here in the United States. You have to go through a rigorous evaluation. It's like clearing your chartered accountant degree, or getting your chartered accountant license, or getting your law license out here. You have to go through 2 exams, one of which is an 8-hour exam and one is a 10-hour exam. And then you have to get your credential evaluated, and basically the licensing board does a course by course evaluation. And you also have to have the right amount of experience through work. And they kind of take everything, your education, your examination, and your experience into consideration before they give you the authority to seal and stamp drawings, engineering drawings. When I went through that process, I really didn't had a lot of issues where I felt that I did not know this because my fundamentals are lacking. And that's, again, all the credit goes to my professors out in Dr. MGR University, because what they imparted me in those 4 years. And the last thing I'd like to say is these 4 years in college will never come back. So, of course, you have to be serious with your studies, but also have fun and make memories. I think the most precious memories I had in my 10, 12 years that I can remember, a substantial chunk of it is from my memories in Chennai. So make good memories, have fun, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. And since you have told that you have cracked the GRE exams, what are the preparations that you took to crack the exam?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for asking that question. What I really did was there are a lot of materials out there, and there are a lot of third-party trainings out there. But for the GRE exam, you probably don't need to do a lot of training. What you have to do is do a lot of practice. But the point to remember here is the GRE exam is designed such that you cannot prepare for the GRE exam for 3 years, unlike the GATE exam. Because the reason is you can prepare for 3 years, but after most likely 5 months, whatever you prepare, you kind of hit a saturation. So I'd say that there is the official guide to the GRE exam and the official guide to TOEFL. I think I have the TOEFL guide. Here's the TOEFL guide. This is the official guide, and this is by ETS. It's called the Educational Testing Service. So you can get these and really understand the format of the exam. These 2 books will get you the format of the exam. And then what you should do is understand the format of the exam, build your vocabulary and your quantitative, your math skills in 5 months. and then take a couple of practice exam, again, from ETS or the official guide. And you can buy some additional ETS question banks for practice. And just do that. That's enough. I don't think you should be spending a lot of money to really understand how the exam should be taken, because there is an official guide which you can buy relatively inexpensive, and that's the best guide you can find. That's written by the makers who make the test. And the other thing I'd like to say about GRE and TOEFL is, like I said, after the 5-month or 3-month, you probably the time and effort you put, it kind of gets saturated. So don't have it planned for preparing for the TOEFL exam for 6 months. It just will not help you. Have it planned for 3 months, 4 months. Look at the syllabus and practice and improve and give some practice test, and that should be it.
Thank you, Mr. Soham. And let's have Vipul Kumar to share his thought on the same.
Thank you, Supriya, for having me again.
What's a cutting edge approach in the electrical engineering in your working place?
Yeah. So when we mention that cutting edge technology in the current scenario or our profession, and correlating or relating with our studies. So as we have discussed earlier, so it's like when we go through our basics, which makes our foundation strong. And when the foundation is strong, then only can we can build as long as skyscrapers we can build. When it is comes for the technology matter with the correlating with the lead electrical or electronics, so we have to think on the part of it right now what is going on. We used to listen so many topics, either it is a blockchain, artificial AI, or further smart related things, or is like we smart. Why I'm mentioning it's like we'll be listening so many things as that IoT based and smart city, smart grid. So many things as comes when we are using in our home appliances in the home. Also, that is a smart. So when we are studying at the base and go beyond to suppose 2010. So the smart words is very couple of limited to couple of things, and we will be knowing with the IoT, AI. So many is hard work where we can't able to get much details at that time. But when we say with electrical, so we have to think of beyond any of. Suppose we are mentioning that IoT, why it is IoT? Nothing is used internet and control everything what you have. So we have to see and correlate with our life and day to day, then where we will be in the next 5 years and what will be the technology. Because when we are using right now, so it is we can consider it is going to be a limit for the next 5 years or 10 years. Then what is going to beyond that? If we are going to have a super smart, then right now we are using a smart. Then maybe that tomorrow when it comes, it will be having a combination of technologies. Right now also we are using combination of technologies, either AI with our face recognition or the smart metering. So many things are there where we are using the technology with combinations. So these are the things where we say right now it is going on. The future we have to think that what will be the future and where will be. So we have to think on that points and topics where we can improve ourselves in the relating with the best practices in future.
Yeah, thank you. Since you have told about the emerging technologies, I would ask you one question where what is the basic concept of the inverter bulbs? This has been like a trendsetter right now. Do you know what is behind them?
Of course, I don't have much details about that, but it is is the same process or the principle what we use in our home inverter, because a considering load when we are having a load in the terms of we are putting a fan, bulbs, or switch, another equipment in home. So it has the load, and based on that, it is decided. And when we see the inverter bulbs, or that is usually now we are seeing the bulbs is coming with control through your mobile, change the color, or what we call in the technology is the coherent color temperature, which is from white to some another light in the blue spectrum, or either it is in a 3000 Kelvin with the going with warm white, look like sun color. It's simple, it's inverter, nothing else. If you have it is very basic example when we have inverter bulbs, and there is no difference when we are comparing with our home inverter, because uh, it's matter for the it matters for the how much load we are giving in the bulb. If you take the LED bulb, which is hardly is having a 7-watt bulb, which is going to be a hardly in milliampere per hour. So it's going to, if you see the bulb is going to last 3 hours. So everything is designed for the small things. And when we are designing for the home, so then at that time we are looking for the 240 mAh battery or the similar kinds to take, or take care for the load in our home appliances.
Thank you. And let's have Avinash Kumar to share his thought on the emerging technologies in his fields. Sorry, sir, we can't hear you. Mr. Avinash?
Hello.
Yes.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
So today we are talking about the cutting edge technology, right? So if I'm talking about the cutting edge technology in my industry, generally I'm working in a sugar. So I saw the great impact of that technology in existing one to advanced one. So I'm sharing you a small thing. Whenever I joined that industries, so that industries is working with the steam generations, means steam is generating, and the drive is driven by the something, no motor, nothing required for that. Nowadays we are offering the plant with a lot of electrical advanced system like DCS, and a control valve is a totally automated valve, and pumps, VFDs. So in a previous days, people are not aware about the VFDs, not aware about the starters, and simply they are running the plant through steam. So see, we are generating the steam with the bagasse, and bagasse we are using as a fuel, but much wastage is there. We are wasting lot bagasse to generate steam. Time to time, technology enhance, electrical system enhance, and we are now using
Avnish,
yes,
Avnish, excuse me, our Madam Vice Chancellor Madam has joined the session. Madam, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah.
morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good
ma'am.
morning to all of you, all the participants. It's really nice to be with you all. On the behalf of the management, we should thank our chairman AC Shanmugam and President ACS Arun Kumar for making this events possible. Really a great event started by the alumni, for the alumni and by the alumni. Definitely this would make the EEE department where the cutting edge. In fact, I would like to say there are a lot more scopes I do not know why students do not join the course, but we have to revamp the curriculum in the electrical triple E department, so that it is attractive for the students to join with the job opportunities in future. So the speakers like you would definitely throw light for the students to join the triple E department, because in the near future we would be lacking youngsters as a working hand, and also entrepreneurs who create jobs. So I want the speakers and the alumni to encourage students to join triple E, which would be once upon a time triple E was really of demand, but right now students have to join, so it should be made attractive by the alumni and the speakers. And thank you all for inviting me. It's a great event by the Department of Triple E with the head of the department, Bhuvneshwari, who had made it possible today to make this event a big success. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for
Thank you, ma'am. And sorry for the interruption. Continue with your point of view, Mr. Avinash.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I'm talking about the enhancement of technology in the previous industries to current industries in the same industries. So I'm talking about the people are not aware about the VFDs. People are not implementing VFDs in the plant, and only they think that sugar can sustain their industries. But see, we are talking about the cutting edge. Nowadays, sugar plant or ethanol plant cannot sustain without cogenerations. So mainly in a sugar industries, we are in for power generation we are name as cogenerations. It's a cogenerations plant. So we having a certain capacities some starting from 15 megawatt to some 48 megawatt. So if I'm telling that our industries cannot survive without generations, so this is the cutting edge. This is the improvements. Why? See, I saw the plant running with the steam, direct steam. So they are using turbine. They are using a turbine to rotate the mill. Nowadays we have that will be improved with the DC drive, and now again improve with the AC drive. Now we are using AC drive. We can able to reduce the power consumption there, and we can get the better efficiency nowadays. If a 5000 TCD plant, the wastage is less, and so being an electrical engineer, we or a general, uh, say suppose you are a general man, you are not an engineer. You cannot imagine anything without electricity nowadays. So again, I'm telling you that we are the prime mover, and we have to feel proud about your engineering. We have to feel proud about our department, that we are electrical engineer and whole country is going to survive due to our technology. Not in a sugar industries, in any aspects of life. So try to implement energy efficient thing in your day-to-day life. Try to conserve energy in every manner, wherever you are, for industries, homes, or anywhere. So electrical is a electrical. So what I'm telling that we are a prime mover in each and everything. So say suppose you are using a mixer, you are using a oven, you are using a uh, many more appliance day to day life, but you are dependent on the prime mover that's called electricity, and electricity is going to generated by you only. So lot of changes are there nowadays. We are improving on a manual to automations like DCS, PLC, SCADA. So I think electrical engineering is the best engineering nowadays, or for a future aspects also. So try to learn the basics, try to learn the things and implement where you are. Thank you.
Thank you. To increase the production of sugar, the sugar mills are being modernized with new technologies.
So
So, what are the technology that you use in your company?
see, previously what I am mentioned the point, previously people are using steam engine. The engine is driven by the steam, direct steam, and for generating that steam we are using lot of bagasse, and you we have to just burn lot of bagasse in not in efficient manner. We are just burn the bagasse to generate steam. But nowadays we are just remove that steam engine with electrical engine. How? We are implementing their the motor there, and the motor is driving by the means of BFDs. And you also know that why BFD is used. BFD, we have a certain benefit of the BFDs, so we can conserve energy in an efficient manner, and we can just reduce the wastage also. So previously due to improper flow of steam we cannot able to crush, but nowadays due to a milling tandem with the BFDs and motors, we can extract more juice from the sugar cane. So this is the impact which which is shown in nowadays in the sugar industries.
Okay, in few sugar industries, there are some technology called as Danfoss world class technologies. And you said that the steam turbine drives, they are being like the application of the mill is being like to the electrical turbine drives. What is the pulse of the drive that is used in your sugar mill?
See, so in a milling tandem we are using a 12 pulse drive, 12 pulse modulations drive we are using, because they're having a two inputs. One input is star inputs and one input is delta inputs. So you are using a specific transformer there. It's a converter transformer. It's convert uh, generally we having two inputs. One star inputs outputs is also two. One star output, and it's a delta output. So in a drive also you having a start side and delta side. Why you are using start side and delta side? To just deteriorate the harmonic system. And we are using that we are using 12 pulse modulation, 12 pulse drive. But in other application, in a small applications, we are using six pulse drive. Six pulse drive is less costly than 12 pulse drive. So for a small applications like fan circulator or pumps and so we are using a 6 pulse drive, and where we have a heavy torque, so we are using a 12 pulse drive. If we have not a constant load, if we don't have a constant load, then we are using this 12 pulse drive there due to heavy starting torque.
Okay,
So we are
do you have
using,
any?
so we are using both the drives in our tandem, 6 pulse drive also and 12 pulse drive also.
Yeah, thank you. So, is there any back channel cooling to reduce the power supply in your sugar mill?
See, in every industries, wastage is there, and we can reduce the wastage, but we need to keep one thing in mind, that production or a process, we cannot stop the process. If we are going to just conserve the some small amount of electricity, then we are going to pay a large amount of production backlog. If a plant can stop for 1 hour, then in a sugar industries we are losing 1 crore rupees per hour. So it's a 20, we are considering 22 hours running in a sugar industry, so 22 crore rupees we are earning daily. So in a every manner, our aim is to be not to stop plant in any condition, because we have a certain small amount of crop days, so we are getting a sugar in that days only, and we need to perform our operation 22 hours in any means. So we are, for that we are maintaining all the equipments uh, for past some 6 to 7 months, and we are taking trial, then we are using it for 3 to 4 months. So we have only crop days for in that industries. I i observe i especially observe where we can conserve is a air compressor. So we are using air compressor in a different section, in a milling tandem also, in a bagasse silo blower also, in the bagging machine also we are use pneumatics. There pneumatics machines you are using. So on on that specific reason, so compressor just maintain certain pressure. What I especially observe, in a pipeline we having some leakage, we are wasting the amount of air which is required. Generally compressor machine is like a loading and expansion, loading expansion, loading expansion. Once air release, then again it's come to the loading position. So we need to very clear that our line is totally compact. We are not using us we are not just wasting a single amount of air. So that the area we can conserve our energy.
Okay, since you said that the sugar mill works around 22 hours per day, what is the amount of energy consumed per day?
So 9 megawatt into 22. So
Okay.
this is the rough calculation, or we can say tip calculations. For 1 hour operation, we are using 9 megawatt for a plant.
Thank you. And let's have let's have Surat Singh to share his thought on the emerging technology in his workplace.
Right. Okay. Uh, Thank you, Supraja. So, as my background is from computers, right? It's computer and software. So, there are some in the current electrical and electronics trends. I would like to, first give an overview about what are all the latest technologies that are present nowadays, and then I will share my workplace experience on the above. So when it comes to the latest technologies that we are having right now, the first thing that comes to our mind is hybrid grids, right? That is current technology that is being regularly developed and maintained, and governments across the countries are thinking of implementing hybrid grids rather than the conventional grids that are already present right now, because nowadays everything has become smart, and you all I don't think anybody can, like, most of the population of the earth is using smartphones right now. So as we are moving or driving ourselves slowly towards modern technologies, it's better and it's imperative for the electrical and electronic components to communicate with smart devices so that we can use it across nations, across globe, whatever we want to say, you can say. So hybrid grids are one of the trending technologies that is currently persisting in electrical field. And then we can obviously go to the favorite. I think most of the people must be knowing about electrical vehicles right now. It's getting very famous thanks to Elon Musk, I suppose. But he is getting famous because of SpaceX, not, yeah. So Tesla is still new in India, but I think it's making quite an impact in across the world. The revenue of Tesla is also increasing. So if the revenue of the Tesla is increasing, that means people are liking it and they want to purchase it. But the current infrastructure of India still needs to improve, or still needs to work on. We need to work upon it so that we can, smoothly implement electrical vehicles. So that is another latest trend that we having. Then wireless power transfers. Now that is again an important thing, because right now phones in the lithium ion batteries, we used to use the cables and to charge the phones. That is very quick example I can give right now. Wireless charging can have multiple and many advanced implementations in future. So yeah, wireless charging is again a trending technologies, and it can uh, again make a great impact in the future by innovation. Right now we are using it for small appliance. Now it can be used for the bigger ones. Then wireless wear tech. Now that is again a new technologies that is being trended. Smartwatches that was recently introduced in the market. Also nowadays many electronic companies are coming up with the new smartwatches. Now that smartwatches not only give you your health tracking and everything, it can be used in electrical purposes also. We can use the smart wearing devices, which has the sensor to detect the high voltages around the grid. So the person who is working in the grid side or the high tension wire side can in the events of storm, and when the high tension wire gets break or some issue occurs, he can go there and detect if any live wire is there, so that he can save himself. That kind of implementation can be done. Other than that, artificial intelligence, it's a broad topic. I am also not that much familiar with artificial intelligence, because I have not worked on it. Now coming to what I have worked upon. So in my current 3 years of experience in software development, I have worked upon many software tools. But my basic and my core is .NET right now. When it comes to .NET, we only think about web development. Oh, yeah, he must be doing a website or a web development. But no, right now, .NET has improved himself, integrated, and took best of all the versions that has already come from the .NET to make a single core. What can I say? A single platform which is known as .NET 5, very latest, very powerful framework. It includes two important technologies that I have been working on for a few module implementations in my couple of years of experience. One is IoT and one is ML. So machine learning, as we think about it, again, what is machine learning? Again, a very vast topic, but to make it simpler, I can give you a small example. Machine learning is nothing but to make the machine understand so that it can implement the job automatically depending upon the situations. Now, it can vary for many times. The implementation can be enormous. You can have many examples of ML that is already being in the market. I will talk about what I have worked upon, and that is speech recognition, right? So there was one model in our projects in which there was a chat bot, and there was a requirement in which we have to implement speech recognition. As you must have already been familiar with it, I think most of you must be using among these three: Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant. So pretty much familiar about speech recognition. Now that the algorithm behind that is ML. So anything that evolves according to the anything that evolves after getting the inputs time to time. What's difference between coding and ML? The ML algorithm evolves itself with the inputs it gets after deployment also. It's not just the code, because the code we write, it will function only that what we write. But the algorithms that we developed in ML will evolve according to the inputs that we give in the deployment sector also. And coming to IoT, there was a small implementation that we did. It, it was for a client. I was not directly involved in it, but I saw the process, and it's quite same. You have to write a code. That code get transferred to a microcontroller, smart microcontroller. For example, you must be knowing Arduino, or as Mr. Soham showed you about the Raspberry Pi, right? That single chip is capable of hosting a whole operating system in it. So you can literally make a portable Windows and carry it by yourself anywhere. So that's the power of Raspberry Pi. Again, great invention. So these two technologies I have worked upon, and I have worked upon many other technologies like web development, JavaScript, Python, R language, Angular, couple of things. So that's it. So yeah, Supraja, that's all about what I have worked upon, which relates to the topic today.
How do you gain the software tool knowledge basically after engineering?
Yeah. So again, a great experience. I want to share. In my 4th year, I started working on a project that I told, right. It's a robotic project, a small project. I implemented the latest technologies that were present at that time. So that in the project, I implemented IoT. In that project, I implemented Arduino, even the a Wi-Fi chip, using a Wi-Fi chip, using a Bluetooth chip. My motive was to learn about all the technologies and integrate with the electrical hardware that we are using right now. So while doing the project, while doing the coding for the project, at that time we were using Arduino Studio that was running in Java. At that time, I was able to find the couple of relevant materials, couple of relevant materials to work upon. But I actually, that was not integrated into the course for my electrical engineering. So I have to work upon to learn about it for a couple of months, then to implement it. We have to make a skeleton on what we are going to work upon, how we are going to implement things, what all project, what are movements, what are actions the project needs. According to that, we want the hardwares, electronic hardwares, microcontrollers to be purchased from the market. Then we used to write the skeleton code, implement it, upload it into the microcontroller, and then run it. So that kind of experience gave me the optimism to learn and go towards coding and go towards making algorithms, that kind of thing. So after that, I myself self-studied a lot. So as Mr. Soham told, that there are many I must say there are many platforms right now, free or paid, whatever we want to say. If you are having a great budget, you can pay for it also. You can get it for free also. We are having torrent. I'm not supporting piracy in any case, but if you want to learn materials, you can get it somewhere. You can get it everything in Google. Just learn from it. The only thing you want is to urge to learn, and you will get to know all the technologies. The basic learning, that the interest you will get when you're first of all, if you don't know any technology and you somehow by some other pressure or by peer pressure, you start to learn new technology. Now, the first hurdle you will come is to, to stay on it, because people tend to get bored from the topic that they don't know. So first of all, stay on it. If you don't know, also just stay there, so that after the time passes and you get to know the technology better, you will gain the interest to learn it more. And if you gain the interest to learn it more, you can in your mind develop a new ideas on how we can implement new things about on the topics that we have learned. So that is a great approach to learn a new technology. I currently know around 13 languages, and I am planning to learn 2 or 3 this year also. Now, as Mr. Soham told, the companies that you will join in the future will give you the opportunity to do new certifications, and they will pay for it. But you have to complete the certification and the test. So, depending upon the technology, like for ML, I am not dead. I am, working on doing a Microsoft certification in this year. I think most probably I will do it. So that's how you can learn about it. There are a couple of materials. You just need a good laptop with good processor and good RAM, and that you're good to go. That's all.
And I came across a new software tool called as ISPA2. Do you know what is it is actually for a power system design and for operating applications. Do you have any idea about it, and could you share a thought on that in detail?
Sorry, Supraja, I don't know about the software, so I can't tell you about it.
Yeah. I just came across the internet where it said that it is the most emerging technology software in electrical engineering. So yeah, thank you. Coming back to Soham Ghosh, Mr. Soham Ghosh, what is your experience in your workplace, and what is the challenges that you face every day in meeting your clients and making their fulfillment?
Give me 1 second to formulate an answer. Okay.
Please take your time. Thank you.
I think the challenge, I'd not say it is a challenge, but I'll probably put it as a learning opportunity / challenge for me, where every day I see a problem and I solve it, partly or wholly. I learn something out of it. Now, in my work, so let me back up and just give a little bit overview of what I do. When I joined Black & Veatch 6 years back, I was working. I joined as an electrical engineer, like a entry-level electrical engineer. Once I did my master's from Arizona State, and I moved through the ranks, and now I'm an engineering manager. What I did back then was I did exclusively engineering design for building new substations. And these substations that I'm talking about, these pretty much charge or power, I would say, data centers, bus stations, like electric bus stations, and solar fields, and again, industrial loads. And I gained experience designing electrical substations from 13.2 kV to 345 kV. But when I first joined the company, I did detailed design. And then I moved through the ranks and I became a project lead. And instead of doing one project in which I did detailed design, I oversaw the detailed design for a couple of projects. And I had 3 people who were direct reports for me. And basically, I didn't have a profit or loss responsibility. I just made sure that the work is being done on time and the quality of the work is good and any engineering issues are being resolved. So I mostly worked with our client and other stakeholders. Now, when I moved up again the rank to an engineering manager, right now. I'm working with two teams. One, of course, my US team, which is in two different offices, and also with my Bangkok team. I have a team in Thailand, which is pretty much composed of, I'd say, over a dozen professionals. So I manage two teams, and here at this time, I probably have like over a dozen projects that I see and work on. And sometimes it gets challenging that I'm not involved in the detailed design, so I'm not quite into the full details of what exactly is going on. But over time, I have built up the experience from detailed design. So I know what the high level problem is. And what I try to do is I try to solve the high level problem by working with people. So my challenge here is, and what I'm learning is that most of the time what we encounter a technical problem, and technical problems are easy to solve. You can either solve it with your design team, or just you have to fix the issue. It's a binary problem. You either have a correct design or you don't have a correct design. But as you move up through the ranks, you have to, the problems that you will encounter that will take most of your time to resolve are the people problem. And by people problem, I don't necessarily mean conflicts within a team that you are trying to resolve as an HR. What I mean by people problem is you probably get a project from your client and you have to find resources quick enough who can support the project and basically get them trained in whatever they need to be trained on. And in addition to that, there might be some design changes that the client is asking, basically pushing you to do for free, where you have to push back that that's not part of the scope. And for that, you must have to understand the basic technical, you must have to have the basic technical background. And that's the reason I told in the very beginning that if you get an MBA right off after you graduate, what ends up happening is you get parachuted into a management position very quickly without building the technical skill. And what happens then is, if you are into a management position without technical skill, you are expected to lead a team, but you don't have the technical background to really see if you should capture something as a change order and ask the client for more money and make your projects look profitable, or just absorb the additional work and make your team do the additional work at no extra money from the client. And if you do that, if you make your team work long hours without getting paid by the client, you will lose people from your team and nobody will like to work with you. So that's the challenge I sometimes face as a dealing with people problem. And other than that, I think what I also find it challenging is that staying up with the new technologies that's coming in. I mean, not only the broader technologies, but in my industry, there are a lot of standards that comes in that I need to quickly read and understand and make my team kind of get a high level overview, and I kind of delegate the work and they look into the details. So for example, I probably have to read a 150-page document in a couple of hours. How do I read it? The way I read it is I kind of try to take a look at the contents, and then try to take a look at the relevant section and just get a high-level summary. And then I know who I need to contact in my team so that he or she can help me with the details and basically finding the right people for the right job. The second thing is I probably get one email every 4 minutes. And at this time, it's almost to the point that how efficiently you manage your work. And what I try to do is try to be efficient as much as possible and try to delegate the work to the right people and what others can do, so I can do the work that I really need to do in terms of process improvements. And sometimes it gets challenging that I get a lot of proposals from the client, and in the very same day, I need to develop something or support a quality check. And sometimes even as we plan our best, sometimes we end up in a crunch. And that's where I said, like, we should always have a backup plan. Sometimes when I fall in a crunch, I know that I probably can reach out to somebody outside my team for help. So when I work on with projects that has a lot of money at stake, I try to have a backup plan in terms of managing my risks. That's another challenge I see on everyday execution and try to mitigate. I think I gave a couple of points, but probably those were not very organized.
Sorry. What kind of proposals that your clients come with, and what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, how do you control the performance of? How do you control the risk of the performance of each plans, and what are the backup plans that you will?
Okay, I'll probably try to answer the last one first. How do I control the risk? And as many of us, and even myself, I used to think that risk means only threats, but risk is not threats only. Risk means threats and opportunities. You have to, like any project that we do, there is threats and then there is opportunities. And what I typically try to do is, if it's a low-level threat, I just accept it and just have some margin in my budget, say a 5% margin. If my project is for 100 rupees, I try to have it done for 105, and then 5% is the margin that I use to manage anything that can go wrong. If the project is a very high project, is a very high risk, what I try to have is insurance, or I pretty much try to have it subcontracted it out so that it's not directly my liability. And that's how I manage the risk. Now, if there is an opportunity, I probably try to exploit the opportunity by using whatever experience we have to showcase our client that we can do this work and we can handle a higher volume of work in the future. Now, coming to the question of what kind of proposals I get, like I said, I work mostly in power delivery projects, which include substations, but the proposals I kind of get are something along the lines of the client wants to make a greenfield, like a new substation with 4 breakers at 115 kV. And it would have a transformer, and the transformer is 345 kV to 115 kV. And we will be doing the protection and control design and the physical design. What's the cost? What I also do is upgrades for existing stations, like the client wants to install or upgrade a couple of relays, and I just have to estimate how much time it will take to do the engineering design for upgrading the relays. I also get proposals on the client probably wants us to do some system studies, by which I mean the client probably doesn't have every substation has a grounding grid, which needs to be evaluated such that you don't get electrocution hazards. And I evaluate based on what projects I get, if I need to do a grounding study and what would be the cost for those grounding studies. Also, maybe the client comes to me and tells me that somebody in the past have done the work, but the work is not correct. So I have to fix other people's work, which is sometimes very difficult to fix other people's work because you are kind of taking other people's mess in your own hand and trying to fix it. But if there is a business opportunity there, I try to support it. So one thing I learned is you probably might get mm, two contracts a day or two proposals a day, but at least what you should do is if you want to respond, read the whole contract properly, like back to back, because there is always some hidden clauses out there, or something that's very easy to overlook, and if you overlook it, you will probably not include it in your estimate in terms of cost, and then the client will require you to do it and you have to do it for free. So reading the contract is a pretty important thing in my business.
Yeah, thank you. And Black & Which, your company, has a waste management plant in England that is from 2021 April, and which has promised that it finds favors for the client. How would you fulfill their needs? And do you have any idea about the waste management plants?
That would be a very specific business line question, Supraja. I would probably not be able to get into the details because I just don't know the project specific details of that particular client and that particular business area.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
So sir, I want to know one thing. In a transformer protection feeder, what what kind of relay you are using there?
We use mostly Schweitzer relay. And if we are talking about Schweitzer relay, we are probably talking about a 587Z or a 487E kind of relay.
487E stands for?
487E is the model number. So Nishant, if you type in Google SEL 587Z, you will get a relay. And that relay is basically like a differential relay for transformer protection.
Okay. So actually, we are also designing. So we are not able to learn all the code. So we refer the catalog for the each and every protection. So we are using 95 and 55, 55F like that.
I see.
So
Now 95 you're referring to, is that the ANSI code?
Yes, right.
Okay, got you.
So
okay.
See, what kind of challenges you are facing in designing of a switch yard? So
Okay, what kind of challenges am I facing in designing a switch yard?
yes.
Interesting question and good question. Mostly the challenges is, like I said, I have two teams, one in Bangkok and one my US team. And basically my Bangkok team is a virtual team. So I'm in US and my team is in other part of the world. The challenge here is that if I have a team on the other end of the world, how do I get in touch and make sure everything is working fine on a daily basis? What I do is I have my counterparts in Bangkok who pretty much help me out with managing their team. And basically, I try to minimize the point of contacts. For example, if I have 11 people in a team, in a remote team in a different part of the world, it's probably not a good idea to have 11 contact communication chain with 11 people. It's probably better to have 2 contacts in the other office, and then those 2 supervisors talks to me. So I try to minimize the communication chain into 2 or 3 office leaders and try to get with them and talk about the problems, talk about quality issue, talk about people who probably needs training because they are new into the project. But most of the time what I have seen is people are smart. It's that if you get them into design, they will design. But most of the time, the problem really is that we do not give the people the right tools and the right techniques to do the job. So what I try to ensure is, and to be fair with everyone in my team, is try to give the people that is comfortable in doing the job and who has the experience in doing the job. And sometimes it's easy to say, but it's difficult to implement. But I try to do the best to balance the resources and their experience, and assess how much work they have, and really then take in new projects. But always you kind of have to imagine there are two pushing forces. One is that the company will always want you to take more projects, but you have to understand that you and your team is limited because there is only 24 hours in a day. So you kind of have to evaluate what's the financial aspects are and what's your resource capabilities are. I hope I answered your question, Nishant. Supraja, anything else?
Yeah. So improving the operational efficiency in any energy transition. How do you see them?
Operational efficiency in energy transitions. Let me take a second to answer it this way. What we do is there is a system studies that typically happens 5 years, 10 years before a substation is even thought to be built. That way, what really happens is somebody 5 years or 10 years ahead is planning that a substation needs to be built and a transmission line needs to be built. And there are dedicated groups that does those study. I know a little bit of those studies, but I'm not into everyday role in executing such studies. But once they find that 5 years from now, these would be the certain areas where there would be congestion and we probably need to upgrade with more transmission capacity, we need to build a substation out there. That's how we ensure, like, way ahead in time where the efficiency is really required and where the capacity is really required, and develop the resources out in those areas and plan to do those in a coordinated fashion.
Thank you. And is there any questions from the attendees or the participants?
I'd encourage the participants to ask questions because it's really for you people that we are sharing our thoughts. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask it now. I will also try to see if I can post my email address, so you can, if you have any questions, you can post them or direct them to me. Supraj, is there any way to have the email address sent out?
So you can put them in the chat box.
Okay. Feel free to ask questions if you have any.
Soham,
yep.
This is Bhuvneshwari. See,
Yes,
we were in the pandemic situation for the past almost 2 years. So 1.5 years we were in this situation where the students could not able to take part much in practicals. So rather than emphasizing on the theory part, so they have to concentrate much in practical thing. like how you are giving from your side that the students, how they can concentrate in practicals when any kind of situation like this arises.
Ma'am, thank you for that question. I think that there are two components to this problem. One is that we have power, like electric machine labs, and it would be difficult for anyone who is currently attending the class to do electric machine, to get the experience of electric machines like a synchronous motor or an induction motor and their speed control through armature or the field coils by looking at some YouTube video or looking at some special training materials online. So acknowledging that there is the limitation of doing like transitioning the practical into a virtual mode for the electrical machine lab, I would say the other component, the optimistic picture is the power electronic labs can be transitioned virtually, and this is where our students can do either of two things. They can probably get a feel of how things really look like in, say, for example, like an amplifier setup, or how to wire a transistor, or how to take a wave generator, give the input to a transistor and verify what the output is. We can have these things done relatively easily, either through MATLAB, or our students can probably get inexpensive circuits from, again, Ricci Street, and have them arranged in a breadboard, like a small breadboard like this. I can show you, like a small breadboard like this, and basically generate the wave, the sine wave or the rectangular wave, using Arduino or Raspberry Pi, and try to understand how the graphs look like. That could be another option. But again, the challenge would be for everyone to set things in a consistent fashion. But again, doing it by hand and doing it by oneself with a little bit of input can go a long way.
Thank you, Soham. I hope.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think MATLAB is great option for this.
Experience. Thank you. Is there any questions from audience side? Supraja, can just check it out.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else with any doubts? Please be free enough to ask them. Okay, I hope that we all the speakers have explained on their stream in briefly. And I have a question to Vipul Kumar Gupta. And I came across an article where it said that there are 4 generations of light. To know what is the generations of light and how are they classified?
4 type of generation of light. I'm not sure which article you're referring on this. And this, if you can elaborate some on, you see, when we are searching for that, it's like artificial lighting generation, or if you go to the natural, of course, natural we have the sun. Then if artificial we go, of course, one is that what we are using the diode, that technology, that is one is the PN junction. But apart from that, also some of the new technologies coming, which is from natural sources are there. But I'm not able to give you full answer what you're looking for there, because I did not have gone through recent days what new development will happen in this light sources.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. And is there any doubt from the audience side? If possible, you can post the questions in the chat box.
Just now, I am seeing one question or is posted by regarding
Hello.
it's necessary to me
Hello.
attach the certificate in my resume.
Hello,
I
Bipul
have
Bhaiya.
done
Yeah.
with the
Hello.
Bipul Bhaiya, sorry for the interruptions. Due to some urgent meeting schedule right now, so I need to leave. Had a very good session. I also learned many things from all of you, especially from Soham Bhaiya is my field. He is from also EPC division. Thank you so much. Especially I will text you Soham Bhaiya regarding my more queries regarding switch yards and type of protections and how I can enhance my design to
Sure.
meet the US standard in India also.
Try to help as much as I could.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you,
thank you,
Nishant. Take
thank
care.
you,
Thank you,
thank you,
Mr.
Bye.
Avanish.
thank you,
Thank you,
thank you.
Avanish. Bye.
Thank you, Manish.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes,
Am I audible?
yes.
Raja, I could see some questions
Yeah.
from audience.
Yes, ma'am. I would read it for
Yeah.
them.
About. Yeah. Right. So, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that question was that was asked just right now. That is it necessary to add certifications to my resume? I've done a software package. I think I may answer that question. Yeah, it is very necessary to add your certifications, but the certifications that you get in Udemy will not be that impression that it will not make that much impression rather than doing the certification from an authentic source like Microsoft and Google. Try to do the certifications from the big giants, like the base creators like Google, Cisco, Microsoft, because their certifications comes with series of tests that Microsoft goes around 5 to 6 steps of tests and then certify you in something else. So try to do that certifications, and that certifications will make a great impression in your CV. So yeah, that I hope I have answered your question there.
Thank you, sir. And there's a question to Soham. And a student from second year BME, Romit, has asked that, is it advisable to take up an internship during the 4th year of college, or should we just focus on the studies? Also, I want to do my master's in abroad. So if I do a job here for a year or so, will foreign universities regard my applications or more?
Okay, I think that's a two-part question. So trying to take the first part of the question, should I be doing an internship in the 4th year? I mean, internship is an internship. If you are getting the opportunity and you think that it will add value and it's relevant, yes, of course, go for it. Now, I don't have any hesitation on internship. I think internships are great. I personally did one internship when I did my undergrad and one more when I did my master's. So I think that definitely adds weight to your experience as such. Coming to the second question, if I want to do my master's abroad, should I do job for a year, and then should the foreign university regard that? I think definitely yes, but you have to kind of put the link there. By that, what I mean is, if you are an electrical engineering graduate and you are in an IT firm for 2 years, and then again you want to move back to electrical engineering and want to apply into, say, analog systems or power electronics, it can become a little challenging to make the link. But if you can make the link of you working in a company that does the same work that's related to your discipline that you have studied, and the one that you're kind of going to apply for, if you can make that link, I think you have a strong case there. So it really depends on what area of job you're looking into and what area of specialization in a foreign university you are considering. And you just have to make a link and make your case look strong and legitimate. Thank you, Supraja.
Yeah, thank you. And a personal question to all the speakers. What are your future plans to develop in your career from now?
Well, I can probably go for that question. Yeah, my future plan, again, I typically try to have a 5-year plan. And again, like I said in the very beginning, my 5-year plan and my 5-year version, I continuously try to tweak it. And then it's a never-ending process for me. My 5-year plan 10 years back was something different than my 5-year plan 5 years from now. So having said that, my 5 years plan from now probably, or most certainly, is to do a PhD in an interdisciplinary area that would combine some aspects of computer science and electrical engineering in an area that has a high impact from a university that's very good. So I'm building my experience and my technical skills so that I can do what I need to do. And one thing I'm also doing is every day after work, just because I want to build a strong profile every day after work, and I have this habit of studying and doing something out on my own in addition to what I do at work, and getting those things published. So probably by the time I will do my PhD, I probably would have sufficient technical papers that would make a good case. So that's kind of the 5-year plan look ahead for me.
So can I have Surat Singh?
Hello. Yeah. So yeah, a couple of things in mind for my future. So as I told in my intro video, in introduction time also, that looking for doing a master's, majorly in, I will do the master's in ML and AI. I don't think so AI, but ML I will certainly do. Rather after, other than that, I am thinking of doing a kind of a standalone job in parallel with the job that I'm already doing in a company. So it's kind of a entrepreneur thing. I'm thinking of starting a small, kind of a service, a company type, a small company that comprises of some developers, and we can provide basic services to the clients. It will be in parallel with the job that I'm already doing, and the long-term goal is get into Microsoft. So I'm preparing for it, and I'm doing a couple of certifications also.
Thank you.
So that's all.
Yeah, thank you. Can I have Vipul Kumar?
See, we have to define our targets or that achievement of what we want to be in a certain period of time. May it will vary from person to person, and of course it is going to vary person to person. If you want to in the professional life, may in the next 3 to 4 years, I'm having a plan to go for in the may own setup of business. And when we are looking for this in the technical segment or in the education sector, education side, so I have started building my profile in the technical scenario, which is going to be a strong point for higher studies. May it will be some hope so it has not gone clear this year. So in coming years, may it will be having a good sky ray or those type of universities where I'll be tagging myself with those universities as well.
Yeah, thank you. And is there any questions?
So
kind.
Supraja, I have a question too.
Yeah,
Suraj.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Suraj.
Yes, ma'am.
So like for your future, you are plan to do some courses. So like, why can't you suggest students like what are the certification courses which will help them for their future?
Yeah, right. Okay, ma'am. Thanks for asking the question. So some of the certifications that will definitely help you is in field of computers is doing a cloud certification. You have to do a cloud certification because nowadays everything is being migrated to cloud, whether this is it's related to computer science or is it related to electricals also. The data that were preserved now till now in servers in different locations, like for a grid data or when we are doing a SCADA, it's also collecting a data. So that kind of data is being migrated to the cloud. So for example, I will give you some example of the cloud certifications that you can do. You can do an AWS certification, that is known as Amazon Web Services. You can do an Microsoft Azure certification, that is a platform provided by the Microsoft, very, very, very versatile platform. If you learn about the Azure, you will love it. Yeah, it provides everything for everybody, not for a particular branch or thing. From the health sector to electrical sector to computer sector, the cloud is a must. So that is the one sector certifications I would like everybody those who are interested to take. The other certifications you can do, being an electrical engineer, is what I did in my fourth year was PLC and SCADA. So just do a certification or do a course on it, because the mention of PLC and SCADA and the work experience you will gain from the knowledge you will gain from the courses will certainly enhance your CV. So do that, and if time permits, just try to master some part of electrical CAD also. That is also a great electrical CAD and MATLAB. I did a small simulation in my fourth year in MATLAB. It was regarding, I think, solar and wind turbine. Wind turbine. So just try to get these kind of software certifications. It will certainly help you in the future. Yeah, I think I answered the question now.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I have another question. So like, how is your, do you have implemented your MLI or AI in your electrical sector? So how does it help in our, like nowadays, smart grids are booming. So like how it is, the ML and AI is being implemented in it?
So when we talk about ML and AI, right? The machine learning and artificial intelligence work in correlation with each other. So when we talk about smart grids, first of all, we have to think about what was the need of the smart grid. We were doing just fine with a conventional grid. The smart grid mainly provides an upper edge in comparison with the conventional grid, is that it is smart, and by means of smart, I mean that there are some algorithms that there will be a different smart meter that will be installed in every houses. If the smart grid is implemented perfectly, that meter not only tracks your electricity bill, it tracks your electricity consumption also. Now that algorithm in which it tracks the electricity consumption will certainly change according to your consumption in day-to-day life. So as I told in my previous stages also, that ML is ever learning. So it learns as it is implemented. So the smart meter will analyze what is your house electricity consumption and what is your society's electricity consumption, and it will give that data to the electricity issuing authorities, for example government authorities, and it will help them better to analyze blackouts. So they will control the blackouts. They will even in a time of peak periods when there is a huge electricity demand, they can increase the prices based on the data. They can decrease the prices when the data when the electricity requirement is less. So that kind of algorithms can be implemented in ML. So ML is kind of an instruction that we give to a system which keeps on evolving according to the input it receives from time to time. And IoT, as you all know, all the smart gadgets that are coming in the market nowadays. For example, Wipro has invented a bulb right now. It was a long back. Now the ceiling fans are also coming smartly. It connects with your Wi-Fi server, and you can just washing machines. It also can connect with your smart devices. You can control them, automate them, whatever you want to do. So that also is a amalgamation of AI, ML, and IoTs together.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So is there any other questions? Kindly elaborate on the scope for electrical engineers. Could anyone answer this?
I can probably take that question. I think the way I like to answer it is as follows. In this 4 years of engineering that we do, and we encounter the different courses, it really prepares us to go into different career opportunities and different or really do advanced studies in many different areas. And what are these different areas? I think that's probably a good way to understand the scope of electrical engineering. Well, the different areas can be control systems, it can be power systems, it can be embedded systems like chip design, it can be power electronics, or it can be signals and systems, which are components like you design a radar and an antenna. So there are a variety of track where you can kind of have your skills developed and stacked over years. And again, if I just say power systems, it again gets specialized in as you go into the details of power systems. For example, in power systems, you can probably do protection, transmission and distribution, power delivery, power generation, and there are other components like renewable energy, which comes under power systems. So I think what our university does a great job is preparing you for the bigger picture. As if you know what the high level overview is, you can be prepared to delve into one of these areas. And I think our university courses are arranged in a good way to really help us to specialize if we need to in any of these areas.
Ma'am, Sir Ramesh sir has joined. Sir, few words, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. Welcome,
welcome,
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yes, my video little issues are there. Okay. So thank you, alumni.
Sir, can you share?
Professor Ramesh, how are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good morning,
doing
sir.
Good.
Sir,
Doing
video
good.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. Actually I am out, ma'am. That is what I told. Some video, some issues are there. Okay. Soham host, how are you? Very happy to see you.
Oh, likewise. Same here.
Yes. You changed a lot.
Did I?
Little part I watched your content in the YouTube. Actually, I am a little out. That is what I can't able to connect in the starting. And it was very nice. People connected. Avanish, Surat Singh. How are you, people?
All good, sir. Hope you are also well.
Yes. And it was very nice that what you heard that when we started the initiative of the conclave. What is the discussion with the students, your friends? So we take an initiative to connect the alumni with the present students. Hope most of our triple students are participating today, and alumni also participating. So that is what if individual department will organize the alumni event in individual day, it will not create the complete awareness for all the students. That is what we thought, how to make connect, because within 25 days, all our present students know that something is going on through alumni. And all alumni students also known that something is going on in alumni. So that is what actually happening. And we got very good feedback also. We got very good feedback. Just a minute. I will connect. Prasanna? Prasanna, you can... yes, Prasanna, you can give me another one access for in another number so that I can switch on the video. So that is actually the reason we thought of, we had a lot of discussion, because you know that how our alumni, what they feel after the college, but how the present students, but how to make it happen. That is what long discussion we had. Finally come to the conclusion to, see, for example, the last, maybe your batch students also, and all the people are now talking on the alumni conclave. So then we thought that how we can make it useful. Then we discussed with the World Book of Record, and they told that there is no university organized event like continuous part. Then only we thought to connect all the departments. So 25 departments, 25 days connecting. We have around 25,000 present students are there. Prasanna, you can give the panelist for another my number, Prasanna. So that that is what which came into the picture. And after completing this part, we already applied and going. அதே ரமேஷ்ல தான் இருக்கு. என்னோட போட்டோவும் அதுல வரும்.
Okay, sir. So add it, sir. Kindly accept it.
இன்னும் வரலையே. Prasanna?
Sir, நான் கொடுத்துறேன்.
Can you give again so that
okay.
Prasanna?
So we want to accept it.
Okay, so that is actually the thought process of having this alumni. And another good news for that, our alumni association is registered now under Society Act. Like when people and teams are there, we have IEEE association, we have IET associations. Like that kind of society, under the Society Registration Act, we registered, and we got a number also. Now what we are moving towards, the next action plan is that getting the alumni membership and providing them the membership certificate. So we created our own software called Ma Connect, which is we are going to release very soon. So connecting all the alumni, and then we can able to go interaction with the mobile app also. That is also work is going on. So how the mobile app is going to come, like Ola, Uber. So suppose Vipul is going to going to Mumbai. So he can search in the mobile app which all the alumni are there near Mumbai. So that is actually the work already started. So so that it is easy for all our students to connect with our, for example, if I am going to pass out, fresher. I am going to Delhi. I need to search alumni near Delhi and get connected with that. So that is the idea. And maybe another 6 months that app we will launch, and our websites are ready. It is also going to launch. So that is what actually which we are doing long for the alumni. And I'm happy that a lot of our EEE students got benefited through our association for getting the consolidated mark sheet, getting the through register office communications like that. So, and I am very thankful that you all taken initiative today, even though holiday, taken your time to be here and connecting with your brothers. It was a good experience, and maybe you never thought that like this program is there, and the present students also having the feel that tomorrow another 2 years or 3 years or 4 years they have to come. And we know that EEE there is a lot of students are there, but why department selected you? There, that also a challenging task is there, no? So department will not select a speaker like that. So because our office given lot of condition, lot of criteria for department to select the speakers. So that is what the things are there. So thank you so much for your presence today, and thank you so much all the participants, maybe outside participants, alumni, and the present students, EEE, E&I, BMI, all the students. And I little watched your session in the YouTube. It was very nice, and maybe the information will be good to share with the things. In future also you can connect with our university and provide your all supports. We can ready to implement one by one so that we can be a part of very good in the global community.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. There's a question to Soham. Hello? Mr. Soham, there's a question.
Yes, yeah, I'm here, and go ahead,
So,
Supraja.
yeah, is there any internship program with your company in online mode so that the students can be benefited?
Sure. Before I take that question, I just want to take a second to thank Professor Ramesh to stop by and share his thoughts. And also, I know that a lot of work goes behind the scenes in an event like this, like a mega event, and probably I would say to organize a 4-hour or a 3-hour event, probably weeks of works goes in behind the scenes. So, and again, this is a great opportunity for us alumni to come together with the current batch and share our thoughts, because really we have been in their shoes 10 years or 5 years ago. So thanks for providing that platform. Now, coming to the questions, my company do provide internships, and I believe that they are pretty limited, but they are in in-person mode as such. What happens really is that you would be provided with a laptop, and you'd be an intern for a couple of months, and you'd be associated, like tied with the team, and helping the team with some design or some analysis. So the short answer is yes. Our company does have a good internship program, and in India, I think we have an office in Pune, and which does mainly electrical work. And then there is an office in Mumbai where we do some water projects. Other than that, I think there is another company called Burns and McDonnell, which is based off in Mumbai, which is very similar and is basically a competitor company of ours, where I know that they hire a lot of electrical engineers once they graduate, but they also have an internship program. I'm just not sure how big their internship program is, but I know that they have an internship program.
Thank you. One more question. Will the electrical vehicles have an impact in human life? And what will be the pros and cons of introducing it?
Well, I think, can I take that question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure. I think electrical vehicles have, it's no longer in the design phase. The electrical vehicles is a reality, at least in countries like US and in some European countries like in Germany, electrical vehicles and renewables are the standards. And the challenge really is that the the countries that are developed and have a lot of resources, they can very quickly build charging stations, because electric vehicles, you cannot have electric vehicles without charging stations. In my office, we do have electric vehicle charging ports, where if you have an electric vehicle, you can probably charge it at a very incentivized cost. So the real challenge is to build those charging stations. And again, I think in our country, in India, the electrical infrastructure is still developing. So the trend would be followed in many years with an inertia. I think electric vehicle has great potential, but the challenge that limits its overall implementation is the charging stations and the battery technology, because unlike a petrol car, there is no, unlike a petrol car, there is not really a resale value once the battery dies down. So it's mostly driven by economics. I think the short question to the answer is yes, electric vehicles are a reality, but to have wide-scale implementation of electric vehicles, even electric cars and buses in India, it will take a long time.
Hello, I would like to add a point here, if I
please.
may. Right. So when we talk about electrical vehicles future in India, right, the first thing I want to say is it is necessary for India to implement, a new altogether ecosystem regarding automobiles and vehicles when we talk about, because there is a monopoly of crude oils, or what can I say, a fossil, petrol and diesel, this kind of crude oil production from the Gulf countries, right? And sometimes they tend to, misuse this monopoly of theirs. So in the recent news, when we heard about Saudi Arabia, right, they increased the, price of the crude oil per barrel, just because all the countries were desperate for the, crude oils in the times of pandemic. Now, that kind of situations, it just educated us that we have to, divert our attention from petrol, diesel, and that kind of thing, and implement another technology that can persist in the future, because non-renewable resources will deplete slowly, and there is a need to, uh, uh, implement another thing, another technology, or another mechanism, so that we can, our lives, live event can go on like that, what we are having right now. And electrical vehicles is one step for that broad goal. In India, we are using electrical engines in railways, right? To carry out our freight corridor projects and carry out our supply chains. So if we are using electrical engines in this great capacity, so there is a great appetite in India to introduce electrical vehicles in future. I think about that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Suraj. I think there's no more questions, and we are end of the round.
Supraja, I hope Shiba ma'am has raised her hand. Ma'am, Shiva ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shiba
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am. Shiba ma'am. think we should make her as the panelist, ma'am. Only then she will be able to speak.
Prasanna? Prasanna?
மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
ஷீபா மேம் கொஞ்சம் பேனலிஸ்ட் இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிருமா?
ஓகே மேம், பண்ணிட்டேன் மேம்.
தேங்க்யூ மேம். ஷீபா மேம்
அவங்க அக்செப்ட் பண்ணணும் மேம்.
ஷீபா மேம்.
எஸ் மேம்.
Ma'am, Shiva ma'am. Welcome,
yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
hear you.
Good
Welcome,
afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Ma'am. Shiva ma'am, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think you have raised your hand in between, so just to share a few words from you. Want to hear a few words from you, madam.
First of all, very good afternoon to everybody present here, and I would like to appreciate the association for arranging this type of conclave, attempting for a world best record. And I would also like to appreciate the initiative taken by the Department of EEE, and I thank everybody who have joined this conclave. And it's very nice to see 5 of our recent alumni being panelists and moderator, and doing such a professional program. And always I used to tell this whenever even when I was the head of the department, I used to tell this. EEE is a department which always sets benchmarks for others to follow. And even today, I think this program has been really very professionally done. And I should appreciate the head of the department, Dr. Bhuvneshwari, for coordinating this event, and Ms. Rama and Jairaj sir, whoever was there, and the alumni coordinators, Dr. Nalini and Dr. Krishnaveni. So I think your hard work, your planning and all has come up really well. And it was nice to hear Soham, Suraj, Vipul, Supraja, and who is the other one? Avanish Kumar, yeah. And Avanish has always been a very good example. So we have seen Avanish grow from place to place. So it's very nice to see all of you here as panelists. And I wish all of you the very best. And all the other students who have joined, the current students as well as the alumni also, I wish all of you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
I think one of the students also have raised his hand, Mr. Manikandan.
And again, we have to make him as the panelist. Only then he can talk, ma'am.
Mr. Prasanna.
ஆக்சஸ் கொடுத்தாச்சு மேம் மணிகண்டன் கவுண்டா.
Okay, thank you.
Manikandan. Manikandan, you can speak now. Please unmute your mic first and then you can speak. Okay. So, Supraja, you can continue.
Yes, ma'am. With this, we are end of the session. And I would personally thank each and every staffs of EEE department for giving me an opportunity to be part of this conclave meeting. And this feels so refreshing, and this is a lifetime experience for me to be part of each and every events of EEE department. And I would thank the speakers, Mr. Soham, Mr. Vipul, Mr. Suraj, and Mr. Oniskumar for being so down to the earth to answer each and every questions that have been raised. And I thank the attendees and all the staffs and non-teaching staffs of EEE department. Thank you. If you have any word to just conclude, you can please, the speakers.
Sure, I will probably share some concluding thoughts here. I think just to summarize, one thing that came over and over again is the importance of getting the basics right. If you can do the basics correctly, you can do the big things correctly. The second thing is the importance of being disciplined in what you do. Be meticulous and be disciplined. Respect everyone and kind of collaborate with everyone. Give others a chance. Give others a chance and give yourself the opportunity to grow and learn every day. Learn something new every day. If you do these things, I think there is plenty of opportunity for you to grow and become a good person in life. Thank you. That was it from my end.
Yeah, thank you.
Any words from Vipul and Suraj?
Suraj, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we are at the end of the ceremony, and I would like to thank each and every staff member who have put their hard work in organizing this conclave and bringing it to a success. So I would like to, give all the best to all the current students that are in the college right now. They have my best wishes. May all of you succeed in life and do well in life. Try to learn better and try to make others support others to learn better. Try to do practicals as much as you can, and try to learn anything that suits you, and just do whatever you want to do, right? Just learn, because life is short and there is so much to learn. So just don't waste time, learn something, and yeah, obviously stay healthy. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for giving opportunity to us as a be a part of program in world record setting program as well. So in concluding, just I will mention one thing, that we have to be in the ground where we are. So never forget you have started from which place and which location. It doesn't make sense that if someone is giving us this, go with this and that. But we have to be stay in our foundations. It is going to give you the success in all over our careers and professional and in the personal life as well. Another thing just I'll mention in that when you are graduating in coming years or with from college, so just you have to remember one thing, that may the technology is right now we are having a topics on cutting edge technologies on the electrical or any other divisions which we are going on right now. So we have to look forward after 5 years or 10 years, because this technology is already available here. So what may will be means I just want to say that it is what will be the another opportunities will be in the next 5 to 10 years, and learn according to this that as mentioned by Mr. Soham Ghosh, and that's that we have to stick on the basics, which is going to give you a foundation. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Vipul. Ma'am.
Thank you so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to sharing your more knowledge. Knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. Now I request Shruti from final year BMI to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. I'm Shruti Sangamitra from 4th year Biomedical Instrumentation. It gives me an immense pleasure to thank the gathering of this wonderful session. I would like to thank our founder chancellor through AC Shanmugam sir, our honorable president through ACS Arunkumar sir, vice chancellor Dr. Geetaloshni madam, registrars, joint registrars, deans, HODs and faculty members for the support and encouragement. A special thanks to Dr. L. Ramesh sir, joint registrar EPA, Mrs. Kripa Devi ma'am, Deputy Dean Alumni for the initiative and support, and Mr. Prasanna, Events Office for the technical support. Next, I thank our HOD, Dr. S. Bhuneshwari ma'am, and Mr. J. Jayarajan sir for their support and motivation. I also thank alumni coordinators, Mrs. S.T. Rama ma'am and Dr. S. Krishnavini ma'am for their efforts in bringing this event to be a successful one. Last but not the least, I thank our speakers for the wonderful discussion, and also I thank our alumni and students for their participation. Thank you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we have a screenshot photo, ma'am? Yeah, for all the with all the speakers.
Can you all switch on your videos?
Prasanna? இது எல்லாருமே ஒரு ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் மாதிரி இது பண்ண முடியுமா எல்லாரும்?
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே. ரமேஷ் சார் இருக்கார்ல?
சார் இல்ல மேம்.
சார் இல்ல மேம்.
ஆமா மேம். எல்லாரும் வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணி ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் மாதிரி எடுக்கணுமா மேம்?
எஸ் மேம். ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் மட்டும் எனக்கு.
ஓகே மேம். நைட் அனுப்பிச்சு விடுறேன் மேம் உங்களுக்கு.
ஓகே மேம். தேங்க் யூ.
மேம் வீடியோ மட்டும் ஆன் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. நான் எடுத்துறேன்.
Please everyone, please on your video mode. All the panelists, please on your videos. Shweta and Sneha, please on your videos, ma. Shruti also on your video, Shruti.
Ma'am, I'm having some problem. I'm not able to on the video.
Okay. Prasna, have you taken Prasna? Mr. Prasna?
Yes, ma'am. எடுத்துட்டேன் மேம்.
எடுத்துட்டீங்க. Okay, thank you.
ஆமா.
Bhuneshwari ma'am, can you come?
Yeah. I thank everyone who are part of this event, and it went on very well. And I would like to thank each and everyone, like right from the management to all the register teams, HODs, and students, especially participants. So they were the one who are the backbone for this program, who has spend their valuable time in enlightening our present students. So thank you very much, everyone. Soham, Suraj, Amish, Vipul, Supraja, for sparing your valuable time. Thank you. So hope we'll have this connect in future endeavors also. So please guide our students in view of all internships, placements, and whatsoever we need. Please guide our students and need your support in future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Prasna, you can stop the recording, listener.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.